All right, welcome to The Explainer. You know, we spend so much time, I mean so much time, trying to perfect the work we do. Our deliverables, our code, our presentations. But what if I told you that the moments that really define your career are the ones when you're not even in the room? Today, we're going to dig into what actually builds your reputation and, ultimately, your impact at work.
So let's start with this. Your reputation is built when you're not in the room. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. It's a huge idea, right? It totally flips the script. It forces us to stop focusing only on the work we do and start thinking about what other people say about that work. Because that conversation, that story that gets told about you, well, that's the real currency in any organization.
We all do it, right? We get so caught up in polishing our resumes, listing out all our technical skills. And look, of course that stuff matters. But here's the reality check. Your actual reputation, it's forged in the 5 minutes after you hang up the video call. It's what people say in that Slack channel. That's the story being told about you in those quiet, off-the-record moments.
So let's dive into our first section. We're calling it the unseen job title. And it's all about understanding what your reputation truly is.
Okay, this one can be a tough pill to swallow. You can be absolutely brilliant, you can be the fastest person on the team, you can hit every single deadline, and still find yourself at a disadvantage. Why? Because being great at your job, technically, just isn't enough. The professional world isn't just a skills contest. It's a game of perception and trust. If people aren't speaking well of you when you're gone, if your brilliance isn't seen and, more importantly, valued, then you're starting from behind no matter how good you are.
And when you're not there, these are the kinds of questions people are asking. It's not just, can they do the job? It's, does this person always deliver? Can we count on them? Are they a team player, or are they kind of a lone wolf? Do they actually help out and bring solutions, or just problems? And maybe the biggest one, does this person make the whole team better? These are the conversations that literally shape your future. And yeah, they happen when you can't hear them.
Okay, so if reputation is all about what's said about you, who's actually doing the talking? That's what brings us to our next section, your internal influence network. Think of it as the ecosystem that's constantly broadcasting your reputation, for better or for worse.
Now, let's be really clear about what this is. When we say influence network, we're not talking about some secret elite club for the VPs. No way. It's your professional ecosystem. It's literally everyone you interact with. Your immediate team, sure, but also that person in IT who helps with your laptop, or the colleague in finance you chat with. This is the broadcast system for your reputation.
You see, just being efficient and good at your job, that's table stakes. That's the minimum. If you really want to grow, you need more. You need allies, people who will have your back and speak up for you in meetings you're not in. You need authentic visibility, where people don't just see you, they see your value. And you need to be present even when you're not physically there. Your reputation has to do the work for you.
All right, so how do you actually build this thing? That's what's next. We've got a practical playbook for you, 5 steps to build it. This is the how-to for creating real, authentic influence. Okay, step 1 is huge. You have to connect beyond your immediate circle. It is such a common mistake to think your boss is the only person who matters for your career. If you're only focused on your direct team, you're living in a silo. Real, lasting influence is built from a wide, diverse web of connections that stretches across the whole organization.
And just think about this for a minute. Your network needs to include all these people. You need informal mentors, reliable colleagues, and you definitely need what we call silent influencers. These are the people everyone respects and listens to, even if they don't have a fancy title. The person who's going to champion you for that new project might not be your manager. It might be that person from the legal team you helped out last month. These are the folks who drop your name in the right conversation at the right time. All right, moving on to step 2. Be visible for the right reasons. This is critical. It's not just about being seen, it's about what you're seen for. Every single interaction is a chance to build an impression, and you want that impression to scream trust, reliability, and positivity. Because at the end of the day, people really do remember how you make them feel.
I mean, it's so true, isn't it? People won't remember every single task you checked off a list, but they will absolutely remember the person who always followed through on their promises. They'll remember the person who helped them out without asking for anything in return, the one who gave them a shout out in a team meeting. These small acts of empathy and generosity, that's how you build trust. That's the stuff that creates your positive footprint.
Okay, step 3. Participate beyond your job title. I love this idea. You got to think of your job description as the floor, not the ceiling. It's the starting point. Real influence comes from showing up in places and contributing to the bigger picture, to the life of the company itself.
So what does that actually look like? Well, get involved. Put your hand up for that cross-functional project. Join that volunteer committee. Show up to meetings with other departments. Even just participating in the informal stuff, the company Slack channels, the social events. When you do that, you're sending a really powerful signal. Hey, I care about the success of this whole place, not just my little corner of it. And that is how you get talked about for all the right reasons. All right, step 4. This one tackles probably the biggest networking mistake we all see, and maybe we've all made. It's only reaching out when you need something. Come on, you know the type. That's not building a relationship, it's just a transaction. And trust me, everybody can see it coming from a mile away.
The foundation of real influence is so much simpler. It's built on constant, genuine, and mutual relationships. It's about inviting a colleague for a virtual coffee just to catch up. It's showing real interest in what they're working on. It's about being consistently useful and helpful. Think of it like a relationship bank. These small, consistent efforts are you making deposits, day in and day out. You build up that balance before you ever need to make a withdrawal.
And that brings us to our final step, number 5. And honestly, this might be the most powerful one of all. It can feel a little counterintuitive at first, but one of the absolute best ways to build your own reputation is to actively and generously build up the reputations of the people around you.
I mean, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Recognizing the work of others is an intelligent way to build influence. Generosity creates echoes, and those echoes speak of you. When you give someone public credit for their awesome work, you're doing more than just making them look good. You're showing everyone that you're a secure, collaborative, generous person. And that generosity, it creates these echoes that ripple through the entire organization. And those echoes, they come back and speak volumes about you.
Okay, let's bring this all home in our final section, making your reputation resonate. This is where we put all the pieces together. So, here's the fundamental shift in thinking we've been talking about. On one hand, you have doing your work well and even telling people about it. That's not enough. It's just the price of admission these days. What's absolutely essential is building a network that backs you up and, crucially, amplifies your work when you're not there to do it yourself.
So, if you remember one thing, let it be this. Your reputation is built in silence, but your network makes it sound loud when you're not there. It's built in those quiet, consistent, everyday actions, but it's your network that turns up the volume on your value when it really counts.
And so, we're going to leave you with this question to chew on. After everything we've gone through, how are you building your professional reputation? Not by accident, but actively, intentionally. Building the reputation that's going to speak for you when you leave the room. Because that real work, it starts now.